All right. So let's talk about it. What do you know? Nothing. That's what I know. Is nothing. So this is Smart Chick Cyclone, and the channel's the life of a reining horse. But we could call it kick 'em harder horsemanship. We could call it that's not how you do it. We could call it I don't know nothing because I'm working with a horse and it changes every day and they have a brain. But just don't call it collect because that costs money. So what I'm doing is I'm showing you the reason why I'm doing the video right now, taking her blanket off, because we got Friday morning, I rode her. So we got Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, 4 days since I rode her. Okay? So I'm getting her out of the field and taking her blanket off. And this is what we're going to see, what we got. We're either going to buck them harder or we're not. Quit. And Chick, we're on YouTube. She's trying to smell the brushes. I didn't brush her. We got to get her looking pretty for the camera. Okay. This is how you get your horse to move over. No hands. Chick, she just knocked the brushes on the ground. That's how I get my horses to move over. I just cluck. And they do it. Because that's how I always do it. And so they just start doing it. So, and then they just do it. Get over here. Can't you see I'm doing something? So, the reason why I wanted to start the video off right with the blanket on and talk about 4 days of not touching her out in the field is because I don't know what I got. And talking about training 2-year-olds, let's talk about that because I don't know nothing. I mean, how would I know anything about training 2-year-olds? This is really the first one I've ever done kind of by myself. I mean, I went to Bill Thomas Performance Horses and had Jared Ryder the first time last year to see she was going to kill me. And he's so dang good. He made it look like a trained horse when he rode her. And I still can't do that. I'm starting to be able to do that because I thought about it. I started thinking about it. And I figured out how them guys are doing it. You're not... So I can teach you something. When you're starting a 2-year-old and you're doing a lope, you're going from a trot to a lope or whatever, you know, transition them into the lope eventually. They're not trained to take a cue to do that because they've never done it before. So what they're doing is, what I'm doing is trying to cue them to do something they've never been taught to do. So I'm getting the head thrown and just a mess that I have to fix now. Some of mine, some of hers. Some of her mess, some of my mess. But so I have to, so that's what I was doing wrong, is I was cueing her to lope. She doesn't know nothing. She's never been rode before. Well, now we're into 2 months. But what I've learned, I call my horse for professionals only. And the reason why I say that is because these are performance bred horses, and some of them are better than others, easier than others. Not say better, but easier than others. But for the most part, they're bred to perform. They're going to, if they don't, a lot of people say if they don't buck a little, they ain't worth nothing. And I can kind of agree with that a little bit. I mean, I don't know. This is her 4 days. I'm not bridling her. Chick. Oh. Now this will just go away, just like everything else that she's done. Chick quit. Open your damn mouth. She was biting it. And so I don't really worry about that stuff too much. This is no work at all. I just basically, you see me right on the camera, took the blanket off, put the saddle on her, bridled her, right out of the field, 4 days. And no groundwork. I'm not gonna do any groundwork because I ain't scared of my horse no more, but we're gonna talk about this. I'm gonna explain stuff to you as I'm doing stuff. Starting 2-year-olds, people are like, oh, sir, and I'm like, oh, it ain't that big a deal starting a 2-year-old, you just get them ready. And well, I learned. This horse taught me about all that. Let me get her. We got to turn the camera and get her. I just didn't feel like walking that far to get the saddle and stuff, so I just did it over here. There's Mom. She's doing good. So, starting 2-year-olds, what I'm doing. Chick. Come on. No groundwork. I'm just gonna help her. We ain't got time. Well, we got all kinds of time, but no groundwork. And then I've never taught her to do this. And why? I don't feel like it. I don't care. I will one day teach her to do this. And right now she's she's learning how to do it. Like she's this is what I laugh at stuff like this because I understand what the horse is doing and how its brain's working and what just happened there. And that's fine. She's getting better at this. But I haven't taught her to do it specifically exactly how I want her to. But anyway, okay, so why haven't I done that? Because I don't want to. I'm showing you how it doesn't work unless you it works. So this is people say there's more than one way to do it. There's a lot of ways to do stuff wrong. Okay, and with horses, pretty much everybody's wrong. Can we joke around a little bit? I'm wrong too. It's like as soon as I figure something out and say something, I'm scared to say it because it could change. It could change because I learned a better way. It could change because I get a different horse. But everything you do with a horse, a dog, a person, it all is the same. We're working with the mind. And that don't change, but and I got myself into something I don't want to get into, talking about nothing. So let's get back to starting 2-year-olds and performance horses. So I just got on her. I haven't touched her in 4 days. And remember her throwing her head up? Well, first of all, let's talk about that right there. Her head. So the head position, where it's at now, and then me getting on her. Remember when I started these videos, I talked about her head being up here, and I would never get on a horse like that. And I skipped that with her because it takes too long. I need to just start doing stuff, and it will come around. And I was right because it works the way it works. And this horse, it takes longer, and I knew that. I didn't know if I was going to be able to ride her because I say it all the time, she's really an athletic horse. She likes to be athletic for professionals only, because you need two things you need to be able to do with performance horses is one, you need to be able to ride, okay? And then two, you need to know how to get them good, because it don't matter if you can ride how good you get them. You could still die, no matter how good you get them. And so 4 days of nobody touching my horse and being outside in the field, 2-year-old. Now, what happens is, and this, I don't know this, I'm just telling you what I'm learning. I started working with her, didn't know if I was going to be able to ride her because she was acting, I couldn't walk her up and down the road, working with her daily. And then probably not like I am now. And then call it 3 months on her. The 2 months I got here now, and then let's see, December to January, February. We might be 4 months on dealing, getting this all said and done to where I'm at now. I'm thinking about the months. December, January, February, March. So December, January, February, March. The middle of this month, it will be 4 months, but we could just say 3 months because there was times, like I haven't worked her 4 days. So 3 months of actual daily, not daily, but 3 months of time. I got 90 days into this horse, plus a month, call it, to get her saddled. And so I could get on her and do the groundwork, because I started riding her as soon as she came here, 3 days of groundwork. So a month of groundwork, getting her saddled. We'll just call it that. She's my baby. I've had her for, going on, it's coming up 3 years. So I've done stuff, but so anyway, let's just say December, January, February. Let's call it 4 months of training on her right now. From a guy that doesn't train horses for a living. Okay, so now that she's really thoroughly relaxed and stood there, I'm gonna start walking up. And I'm just making stuff up. That's just what I did today. It varies. But I didn't look at where her head was at when I first got on her, because I just quit looking. I quit paying attention to it. I'm just doing stuff and it's getting good. And so now when you see me get on her, her head was down. I haven't rode her in 4 days. And so let's just say we got 4 months into this 2-year-old, 3-year-old year now, but generally they start them when they're 2. So, and I did too. I put a saddle on her and stuff, and she loped a few circles. But I like to, see, I like to give them some days off and then see what I got. No groundwork, nothing. I just got on her. She's the same. She's better than the 2 weeks. So that's what I was saying about, I learned that how good, like I got this horse ready, started riding her. I had 3 weeks of riding on her. She stopped going forward, started throwing her head very extremely, to the point where I had to go to Bill Thomas Performance Horses, Saginaw, Michigan, to get through it in case she started to buck. She didn't do any more than throw her head, so I didn't need Jared. But if she would have, this is what I'm learning about. I had her going good, but I hit a spot. Well, I never trained 2-year-olds before. I don't know nothing about hitting them spots. By myself, I'm saying. I've done a lot of work with horses and getting them started, but always had somebody else doing stuff with me. I was just doing this part of the brain. They were doing the physical labor. And now I'm doing the physical labor and the brain. And then so I hit that wall, and for about 2 weeks, because I have her, she's my baby. I thought I knew that that's her. I went through the same stuff on the ground where it's like, holy crap. And then all of a sudden I just kept doing what I was doing, and it got good. And I'll give you an example of one thing that one of the things that I ran into on her when I was doing the groundwork to get her saddled and stuff is doing the circles with them, and then you can side pass them up and down the wall and stuff like that in all these different ways. But I spent about 3 or 4 days trying to get her to side pass. So I would tap her, she'd take a step, I'd pat her, just like everybody does. You know, you get them to do one step, and then you pat them, and then you get them to do another step. And I was doing it like that. And she would not side pass. So, and this varies from horse to horse, with where it's like, be as easy on them as you can, but at some point you just got to get it done. And so I had to be a little more, I had to get it done. And so the day I was like, okay, I'm just going to get this done today. I got it done, and then it's been perfect ever since. But she didn't let me do it the really high level, very good horsemanship way. I just had to get it done. Okay. And now you guys have seen my groundwork on her, and, you know, she side passes and I do everything without a line on her, and, it's perfect. But sometimes you just have to get it done. And so then I started riding her 3 weeks. Every day's getting better. I had a couple days walking her, and then I did the trotting. She was really nervous, head up. Rode her for a couple days, softened her up in the trot, and then did the lope transition, which was perfect. That day that she did the lope transition was just as good as the way Jared did it the first time. And so I was like, and then the next day I came in and had all them problems, and it lasted about probably 2 weeks, where I just kept riding her. I didn't ignore her throwing her head, but I did some things to correct it, but every time she did it, I told her not to. I addressed her I made her know that that's not what we're doing. I didn't always touch her physically, but I always said something to her. Knock it off, whatever. And so rode her for 2 weeks, and then not paying, did you see that right there? Like, I'm not touching her with my spurs. She just turned around and head-butted my foot. She didn't try to bite it on. She literally head-butted my foot with her forehead. And, which, perfect example of my horse knows better than to bite me. And so she head-butted my foot. But I'm not touching her with my spur or nothing. I'm just walking around on here. She just randomly turns around and hits her head on my foot. I don't know why. I have no idea. And that's her, where it's like, holy crap, am I gonna hit another spot? Because right now it's going sweet. So I'm asking her to trot. She's starting to go faster. There. Now, do you see the perfection in that? That's Jared teaching me without knowing he taught me. He didn't know he taught me that. But how he could do that a lot faster than me because he's got a lot more experience. But that right there, that walk to trot transition was perfect because I thought about it, learned, and then did it. Now I can do the same thing in the lope. I'm learning. So just, I'm talking about a lot of stuff, but how you can get a 2-year-old like this one perfectly, where this is her hard lead to take to get is to the right. And so when I do this lead, I kind of got to help her a little bit, but if I help her, then the head tossing starts. So I'm not going to care what lead I go into. I'm going to care. I'm going to try to pick up the correct lead. I'm not very good at it. So mostly what I'm trying to do is ride her into the lope just like I rode her into the trot. See that right there? That's just, so I didn't cue her. I didn't cue her or nothing. And we picked up the wrong lead. I didn't cue her to lope, though. I was just riding her into it. And it wasn't perfect, but did it again. So now I'm gonna do something, which this needs to be probably done anyway, because she's not really doing very good. She needs to. We need to just get her. I need to do some brain work on her, really. So I got her doing the spin pretty good, and I'm doing a hip disengagement now, but I'm gonna try to do that again. Damn it. See, I can't get that lead without helping her. But then when I help her, her head goes up like that. So we're gonna try it again. Oh yeah, I learned something right there. I did it. I did what Bill Thomas does, and it worked. Believe it or not, you can't believe it, right? Did what somebody knows how to do something did, and so it worked. And that was kind of the first. Just thinking about how it works, and you guys can see how she rides. 4 days of not riding her, and how she is. But this is, you're talking about 4 months of work. You know, it should be like this after 4 months. You know, including saddling her, the groundwork, all the, just saying all the work. And so we're gonna go into do my next maneuver here that I've been working on. She just wants to do it, so I'm gonna let her. It's getting hard for me to trot her in a circle because she wants to do this. Oh. And so when you get them, when you start getting their brain right, see how I can't, holy crap. I'm trying to trot her in a circle and she won't let me do it. That was good. Get that on camera, me spitting. So so what I got to do now is I got to come out bigger. I got to go bigger. I need to do, she's trying to get right back to that spin. Because I know what I'm doing and and just letting her do it because it's happening. And this is not riding her for 4 days. Oh, you can feel it. And so I'll show you me trying to trot her in a circle. So I got my inside leg on her. That's me trying to trot her in a circle. Okay, I can't do it anymore. So now that I can't trot her in a circle no more because I got the spin put on her. And this is 4 days of not riding her. And now this side's not as good. And we're gonna do some, we're gonna get her good on this side. So how do you get them to lock into that spin? Well, I'll show you. Just like that. That's how you get them to do it. And pretty soon, you won't even be able to track this horse in a circle. Get her going forward. Get her sped up a little. That's all I know how to do. So now let's just do it from a standstill. Oh. I need somebody watching me do this because I can't see the butt. Oh. All right. I said, whoa. So that's that. I'm just showing you some things. And now we're gonna lope to the other way. This is somebody doing something that doesn't know what they're doing. Now she thinks I want to trot in that circle again. So this is where I struggle. Because I'm done with that. Because I know how to do something. And then she's all zigzaggy now. This is where I gotta get. So I'm gonna try to come through where she's in the camera. See, she's going into that damn spin again. And I'm not trying to spin her. That was not good. This lead's easy to get right here. She got me way too close to that wall. Holy moly, that was not where I want. There we go. Basically got it fixed, more or less. I just have to be real careful, paying attention to what I'm doing. And ready to do some more stuff. Need to get this lope better. So I'm just kind of riding her with my legs on her. And not really asking her, but holding my legs on her. And she's stuttering at spots. Like right there, she gets a spot where she stutters a little. So I'm just trying to get a cruise control set. And so right here, I kind of pushed her through that spot. And just getting a cruise control set on her. Where, and then I'm going to add some speed. There we go. We're getting some speed. Not a lot, just a little. And this is where I'm at with her. After not being on her for 4 days, not riding her for 4 days. So I'm riding her the same way as her mom. Oh. And so it's just happening the same way. I ride her mom, and I'm not really training this horse other than paying attention to how I cue her into the lope so her head doesn't fly up in the air, because I trained her mom to do that too and had to fix it. And this one I caught early. Well, there was 2 weeks of her just throwing her head around anyway. But I kind of caught this one pretty early, and so I should be good to move forward with that. I had to ride her mom no-handed because I couldn't do it. And so now I'm pretty good at riding no-handed. And I'm just teaching her the same way I taught her mom. And I don't know how to do a lot of stuff. So it's like I can lope a circle. I get pretty good at that. I can get them spinning, because everything that's done at the lope, I'm not very good at. Most everything's done at the walk trot. You know, you're going to do a lope departure, walk trot, lope departure. And then the spin's all taught at the walk trot. And the back up, walk trot, back up. And but when you get into loping down for a rundown, that's loping, going through 3 or 4 gears, however fast you want to go, stopping and then doing a rollback. All of them are moving parts that I need to do that, but I need to do that with coaching, so I can get it done right. And then flying lead changes, I understand how all that works. I just need to practice it. And so basically what I'm saying is I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Getting a horse to be able to be rode and to be safe and to not spook at stuff, none of that's at the lope. I mean, it is at the lope, don't get me wrong. But anyways, I'm the best colt starter in the world if the horse lets me be. Okay. If the horse don't let me be the best, then I'm not. So it's just kind of up to the horse how good I am. And these reining horses, one thing I learned, and I don't know any of this, but I know from her is that she spins. I did a Bill Thomas thing to her in the spin, and I didn't even know. I didn't necessarily do it on purpose, but just because I am learning things. Yeah, I don't know if I did it. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, so talking about the 2-year-olds and reining horses and performance horses, and having, getting on her 4 days and her just being good. No, she hasn't misbehaved or done anything other than the head tossing. See this right here? She's locked in. This horse ain't going to be able to not spin when I go to show her. I go to show her, Bill's going to show her in the big stuff. I'd like to show her in some easy lope and easy pattern if she's ready. I'll just ask him about all that. But it'd be nice to lope around. But I got to do flying lead changes. We're nowhere near that. So, okay, just stop talking about that because I'm just barely getting a lope in a circle on her right now. So, what was I talking about? I don't know. Oh, the 2-year-olds and the reining horses and the performance horses. You get them out every day, and they'll be a wild animal. And then just my experience with her every day. And some days were good, but it was. And then now I get her out every day since I started riding her and stopped doing, and she's good. But in the beginning, it's like you bring a horse for 90 days. By the time they get good, they leave. So you don't get to see this where they start getting good when you get them out. They don't, but and that's just one experience with one horse. Where 4 days of not handling her, getting her out, she's good. But that's 4 months, not straight, 3 months, call it, of straight riding. And going through some stuff and realizing that no matter how good a job you do, there might be a spot that comes up on a 2-3-year-old. And I didn't know that. I just thought once you get them good, they're just good. But I do know this. So now that I'm talking about that, her mom's 15 years old. And I've had her since she was 2, so I've had her 13 years. And she is broke. She's good. But the reason why I'm saying that is there's been times throughout them 13 years where I've got her out and she was like a wild animal. I could handle her. It didn't matter. But if I ride her for a week or two, I can get her so a kid could ride her, an 80-year-old man could ride her. She's good. But I have to ride her for a week or two. Still to this day, that's true. So when people say, so I heard this a lot with people say this all the time. Once you teach a horse something, they learn it forever. That only applies to tricks. I'm talking like teaching them to spin, teaching them to lope depart, teaching them to stop, teaching them to side pass, teaching them to do tricks. That lasts forever. When you teach a horse not to be spooky, that only lasts as long as it lasts to that specific horse. Okay? I had a horse that could sit in the field for a year. You could eat lunch and your kids could go out there and ride it after a year of never being touched. It was just a good horse. It's just that's how the horse was. Her mom and this horse, they could probably do that maybe, but I would never just let it be that way. It would always be supervision to see where the horse is doing. Because you can always tell, like when this horse started throwing his head and stuff, there was warnings, like as soon as I got on. And if you're paying attention, you can see where the horse is at, and that doesn't change anything for a spook. You can see the horse is good, and then they spook. That's all relative to where the horse is at with deep internal mental training for a week or two or a month or a couple months, depending on what you're doing. And that kind of stuff doesn't really exist online, and I had to figure it out by watching somebody that knows how to do that and then know what I'm looking for. And you can watch my videos and see this right here happen with me getting on her head. When I got on her today, her head was below the saddle horn. It didn't move. And that I told you that would happen, and it did. And I'm figuring things out. So now that I'm figuring things out, she wants to spin. See this? This is what I'm talking about, where and that wasn't any kind of a spin or whatever. I'm just showing you this horse has to do it. Now, when Bill Thomas takes this horse over, this will be at a whole different level than what I'm doing. But horses train, and you watch my videos. I can't get her out of it. This is the problem where when you don't know this, when you don't understand this, it's like it don't matter. But anyway, I was just showing you a little piece of locking a horse in to do something, and they have to do it. And then now, so this is all going to be a process for. I really need to have Bill start riding this horse because I'm getting too good to, and I don't know what I'm doing. So But I'm training a 2-year-old. And so I'm learning how to do something. See, I'm figuring it out. Luckily, I'm figuring it out quicker than I did on her mom, because that was years. That took years. I'm figuring it out in weeks now. But I need coaching for sure on her, because I'm getting too good at doing stuff that I may need to be doing. I need to have other stuff done. I know this. But it's getting good. You know why? Well, if you watch my videos, you know why it's getting good. Because the horse has got two choices. Get good or get good. That's what you get. Let's get her moving. Let's see if we can get her moving. Not really. She gets by that wall and scares the crap out of me. That was pretty sweet right there where she bounced. She was getting by that wall and I put my spur in her and she came right off it. Oh, look at that. Look how far she is from the wall now. She's getting to learn. She's starting to learn. I like it. Oh man, this horse is good. Too good for me. Just like her mom. Still ain't good enough to ride him. But this is 4 days of, we're going to go right, stop in the middle. Oh, and we're going to do, we'll do a right spin. I guess we won't. I guess we will do a right spin. She just didn't know it. We were going to do it. So, I went to the right because I felt like she would go to the left. And that's why I went to the right. So we're going to do that again. I'm just doing it again because I want to be able to do that. Now she gets to be wobbly right here because, okay, we're going to lope her around. We're going to come into the middle. Right here. We're going to come into the middle right here. Oh. We're going to stop in the middle. We're going to spin to the right because I said so. Now, I could show her in Green Rainer. We got to do 4 spins. That was like 2. But her back end's moving quite a bit. Ho. Ho. And so that's coming in the middle and going to the right. Can we go to the left now? I don't know. Ho. So we got left, right spin. Loping left to right. We got pieces of the puzzle. And this is after 4 days of not riding her. This is how she is. I got my lope departures figured out. I got it kind of figured out how to get him to take a lead. Boy, I got a lot of stuff to do. Holy crap. Don't think about what needs to be done. Just work on today. And because I'm like, it's March. Holy moly. starting to realize there's a lot to do here. And you know, I made some. I could have done. I should have, could have, would have last year done some things, but it's not over till the. It's not over. We're we're getting it done. Um, it's getting done. So her heart's beating a little bit. I like that, and she's good. Try to get. See now, I'm not trying to. So she's so. Oh man, I'm too good for my own good. I had to kind of get her. I probably not gonna work on them spins for a few days because um it's too good. I need to do some other stuff. I can't even. I'm good. Oh man, if I knew how to do, if I knew what I was doing, oh, I could get this horse going so good if I knew what I was doing. Um, so that's it. We got a lot to learn and a lot of practicing to do, but man, wow, it's pretty incredible. I'm just talking about learning. All right, that's my video of the life of a reining horse. This is what her life. Peace out.